next time you meet me in Gate City.
Oh, Cody Pope. I know Cody Pope.
Our friend is Cody, yeah, we not having a good day.
Smack dab in the middle of all that. That was beautifully said. And I love that you said when you have a microphone in it.
And we were able to do it.
It's about just showing up.
Yeah.
Good night and what up, world? Welcome back to another episode of Cody Central. Welcome back, welcome home, or welcome for the first time. As always, every night here is just a little bit different, so we're going to have another wild and interesting conversation for you. As always, drop a comment. Let us know what city and state you're watching from. Shout out to everybody that's already up in here. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Scott. Shout out to Dane. Appreciate everybody jumping in here. I love seeing this go up and up. Real quick, before we get the show started, this week's episode is not sponsored, but if you would like to sponsor a future episode, if you want to plug anything during the show, if you want to donate to support the cause, this is a little bit about how you can get involved.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is go to hellhoundpublishing.com. Go to the menu, go find Cody Central, our show. Then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see a bunch of different donation options. Each one will have some really cool stuff that you get. Go to checkout, tell me what you want me to promote, cash out, simple as that.
Yo, what up, Samantha in the chat? What up, everybody? Appreciate you guys tuning in. We got an awesome show in store tonight. As always, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate everybody that's already been helping us out with that. I'm going to jump into some of our weekly segments here real quick. And I want your guys' opinion in the comments when we go through this. So for those of you guys that have been watching the show since the jump, you know, we always start the episodes off by doing the weekly event run and the weekly movie and all that good stuff. And a couple people suggested that I should save those for Patreon and make them exclusives on Patreon every week if you want to see the movie of the week, the music of the week, and the event listings. So let me know if you guys want to keep seeing them in the main episodes or if you want those to be Patreon exclusives. In the meantime, let's jump into some stuff right here. So speaking of music of the week, I'm sure nobody will be too surprised, but I couldn't go without. So my music of the week this week is the brand new album from none other than Clips, Let God Sort 'Em Out. I know there are already a ton of reviews circulating for this one, so I will keep mine as brief as possible. It wouldn't feel right to not acknowledge this triumphant moment for hip-hop with the return of two of its revered lyricists in brothers Pusha T and Malice, along with cherished producer talent Pharrell. The Virginia trio truly continues to elevate the craft both in songwriting, sonic composition, sequencing, storytelling, and the rollout and delivery. Man, I just can't tell you enough. The singles from the album were phenomenal. The visuals for the album are phenomenal. The rollout, the interviews, everything they did to encapsulate this project just couldn't have been better. It couldn't have been more indicative of the character of like grown man rap, you know, two like 40 and 50-year-old brothers still putting out some of the best, most serious, most technical lyricist music that has been put out in like mainstream music for a while. And just the messages in these songs, the brash statements, Pharrell's production is just unbelievable. There's not records that you can like compare this to. This is such a great listen. At least give it a spin through. Even if you're not a hip hop fan, this is just such a big moment in the culture right now that it's pretty triumphant to see like grown ass art taking the lead in what is being recognized for its qualities. So without diving too deep into that, music of the week, clips, Let God Sort 'Em Out, available everywhere that you possibly listen to music. Movie of the week. This is a little fun. So I got 2 movie of the weeks this week because I skipped out on you guys either last week or the week before because I wanted to talk about something else. So I had a chance to catch up on a couple great movies, and without further ado, first movie for movie of the week is Rumblefish, directed by Francis Ford Coppola from 1983. No surprise, but I thoroughly enjoyed this film. It was a brilliant adaptation of an already thoughtful story. Right off the rip, the casting was unbelievable. I was amazed at how many iconic actors were in this before the height of their notoriety. Everything from the music, the dialogue, the visuals, everything just came together fantastic. The last thing I left in my note was that I feel like this is for people that have seen it. This isn't a spoiler, but seeing the fish in the tank in 1983 when this came out, it's a black and white movie, but the rumblefish that they always reference, they see them in the fish store, and you always see the rumblefish in color. And so that was just like, I just thought that was wild. So that was Rumblefish. If you're a fan of The Outsiders, Rumblefish is based on a book by S.E. Hinton that follows the same like universe, I guess we would call it, as The Outsiders. And Francis Ford Coppola actually did The Outsiders movie like the year before this one too. So this is a great follow-up to that. And I think maybe I'm being a little crazy, but I think I actually enjoyed Rumblefish a little more than The Outsiders. Just taste-wise, not from a qualitative fact. Next movie I want to cover is called Chan is Missing, directed by Wayne Wang. This one's from 1982. I've been sitting on this one for a bit, not for any other reason than just I have an ever-growing pile of movies, and I picked this up as a blind buy in one of my previous Criterion sales, and so I had just been waiting for an opportunity to watch it. With that said, I should have watched this a long time ago. I absolutely loved this. It blends all of these different cinematic and cultural identifiers in such an enjoyable way. It really, and this is going to sound crazy, but it felt like if Breathless had been more of a film noir or a mystery. There's all these like handheld camera shots, dialogue is just surreal, the plot takes all these different interesting twists, and the lead is like one of the coolest uncle, old gentleman kind of characters that I've ever seen. I'm going to absolutely rewatch this over and over again. This is going to be like a new comfort movie kind of thing. It's just so awesome. And it has a perfect running time. It's like 75 minutes for the whole movie. So it's a great one to watch if you ever decide to blind buy it. And one fact that I had to note is that it's kind of almost adorable in the sense that all of the extras in the movie, literally almost any scene that has extras, you will see people look right into the camera when they're clearly supposed to be like in the scene. And it's just awesome, and it just lit me up. So that's my movies of the week. Rumblefish, Francis Ford Coppola, and Chan is Missing, Wayne Wang. As always, if you guys are into the movie stuff and you want to like read more of the movie reviews that I write, see some of my watch lists, see other like more important, incredible people from theater, they like a lot of directors will put their watch lists and influences and stuff like that. It's a really cool app. It's called Letterboxd. You guys that have been here every week know what it's about, but if you're new to it and you really love movies, take a moment to check out Letterboxd, and we will be right back. And right before we jump into our event listings, as I just mentioned, the last thing I want to say is Criterion Collection's 50% off sale is still live until July 27th. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Criterion Collection is one of the older and more notable physical media archives. They restore movies, they redistribute movies, they package movies in new ways, they box set them. Criterion archives movies going back to the 1800s all the way to brand new movies that are coming out as we watch them. It's known for keeping really important movies, but that stretch could be anything from a avant-garde French film from the 20s to the Japanese Godzilla collection to The Irishman. You know, there's all sorts of stuff in the collection. Whether you watch and collect movies all the time or you just want to have a few at home or some of your favorites, check out the Criterion collection. Any Barnes & Noble will have Criterion for 50% off until July 27th. So make sure you check that out. Criterion Barnes & Noble sale only happens twice a year. Make sure you go cop some physical media, keep the arts alive. One more note, big thank you to everybody that has been supporting the No Sugar Added music video that I mentioned we just dropped last week or so on the channel. If you're subscribed to Hellhound Publishing on YouTube, which I hope all of you are, after the show, please go and check out the brand new music video from Cody Pope and Byron G for No Sugar Added. Drop a like, drop a comment, tell a friend, all that good stuff. Let's run into some events, gang. As always, if you want to have your event mentioned during the event run, or if you just have anything in general that you want to have plugged, make sure you shoot me an email at codycentralshow@gmail.com. With that said, let's rock. Every Sunday is Rap Night Manchester at the Shaskeen in Manchester, New Hampshire. Open ciphers and artist showcases. It's $5, 21 plus. They just celebrated their 12-year anniversary. That's 12 years every single Sunday at the Shaskeen. National artists, touring artists, local artists, regional artists, people getting on open mic for the first time, people doing sets from that have been around for 20 plus years. This is an important institution, and we're fortunate to have this going on in Southern New Hampshire every Sunday at the Shaskeen, hosted by DJ Myth, Sean Caliber, and I9. In addition, every Thursday is the Laugh Attic at Strange Brew in Manchester, New Hampshire. Every Thursday is a comedy open mic showcase hosted by previous Cody Central guest Danny P. There's open micers, there's regional talent, there's first timers, there's veterans, all sorts of stuff. If you just need to go and sit down and have a laugh, every Thursday at the Laugh Attic, please go support them. And some shows coming up. Wednesday, July 23rd, Oakland hip-hop legends famous for tracks like 93 Till Infinity, Souls of Mischief make their way to Burlington, Vermont for a special night at Higher Ground. Thursday, July 24th, New Hampshire-based guitarist and multi-instrumentalist Gary Smith is going to be performing live at Trenta in Wolfboro, New Hampshire from 6 to 9 p.m. Saturday, July 26th is the Street Power record release show featuring Colin of Arabia, the Mongoloids, and more at the Middle East downstairs in Cambridge. As we've been saying every week, the show sold out once. It was at Sonia. They moved it downstairs to the Middle East to open up more tickets. Lock in now. You're going to see hardcore bands, old and new alike. This is going to be a special occasion. Be there or be a nerd. Wednesday, July 30th, 2000s Brooklyn alternative indie rock giants TV on the Radio make their long-awaited return to Boston for a special night at Roadrunner. Sunday, August 3rd, iconic hip-hop group De La Soul takes the stage at one of music's most notable gatherings, the Newport Jazz Festival in Newport, Rhode Island. Saturday, August 9th, legendary stand-up comedian Louis C.K. makes his way to Foxwoods for a special night of pure raw comedy. Saturday, August 9th, That Motown Band performs hits from the Supremes, Marvin Gaye, The Temptations, Smokey Robinson, The Four Tops, and more live at the Park Theater in Jaffrey, New Hampshire. Saturday, August 16th and Sunday, August 17th, legendary heavy Southern music icons Crowbar and I Hate God join together for a tour fans have craved for years from the Titans of Low Tune. Saturday sees the historic tour hit Portland, Maine for 2 shows, at least one of which is sold out, if not both. And Sunday night in Boston is close to, if not sold out, at the Brighton Music Hall. Thursday, August 21st, 1980s Portsmouth, New Hampshire punk rock natives The Queers embark upon a stop in historic Lowell, Massachusetts at Taffeta Music Hall. Friday, August 22nd, iconic Massachusetts rock metal hybrid Cave-In celebrates 25 years of their album Jupiter with a full album performance at the Sinclair in Cambridge. Also on Friday, August 22nd, Twin Peaks, A Conversation with the Stars at the Nashua Center for the Arts, featuring cast and crew including Ray Wise, Kimmy Robertson, Harry Goaz, James Marshall, and executive producer Sabrina Sutherland. They're going to be talking about the show, talking about the icon David Lynch, rest in peace, and so much more. Friday, August 29th, American industrial legends Nine Inch Nails embark upon a huge tour, their first in a number of years, coming to the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Saturday, August 30th is Hardcore Flea Volume 4 at Ralph's in Worcester, Mass. Free to attend, outdoor vendors, and live music. Thursday, September 11th, there will be a screening of High Fidelity at the Music Hall in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, followed by a live in-person Q&A with none other than John Cusack himself. Sunday, September 14th, 1980s heavy metal rock rap icons Cody Pope and the Keyholders are going to be at Rap Night Manchester at the Shaskeen along with Wandsworth. That's right. Me and the live band are back at it. We're going to be at Rap Night Manchester at the Shaskeen in Manchester Sunday, September 14th. Wednesday, September 17th, notably reclusive yet stellar MC Billy Woods takes the stage at Brighton Music Hall in Allston, Massachusetts. Thursday, September 18th, late 80s New Jersey punk icons The Bouncing Souls bring their latest tour to Royale in Boston. Sunday, September 21st, is a screening of the new 4K re-release of Stop Making Sense, the incredible concert film from Talking Heads. That's going to be screening at the Cabot Theater in Beverly, Mass., followed by a live in-person Q&A with none other than Talking Heads guitarist Jerry Harrison. Thursday, September 25th, absolute punk rock legend Iggy Pop takes the stage at Suffolk Downs and is joined by iconic 80s UK punk rock act The Sex Pistols, featuring a mostly original lineup plus Frank Carter on vocals. Saturday, September 27th is Punk in the Park at the Palladium Outdoors at Worcester, Massachusetts. Bad Religion, Pennywise, Comeback Kid, Face to Face, The Adolescents, and so many more. Wednesday, October 15th, 90s emo and indie rock giants Modest Mouse take the stage at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway Park in Boston, Mass. Saturday, October 18th is Al Baril Day at Roadrunner in Boston, Massachusetts. Band announcements are coming very soon. I just had the fortune of actually getting a message from Nancy Baril. Big shout out to the whole SSD family. This is going to be an event to honor the legacy of Boston hardcore pioneer Al Baril of SSD Control, one of the pioneering Boston hardcore bands who recently passed away due to colon cancer. All proceeds from this show will benefit the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. Please follow the band at SSD Control Official for continuing updates. They're going to be making that announcement very soon. Thursday, November 6th, late 70s punk icons GBH make their way to Allston for a memorable night of raw, aggressive, in-your-face punk with no apologies. Saturday, December 6th, to celebrate the 70th birthday, that's right, 70th birthday of New York hardcore legend Vinny Stigma, Agnostic Friend put together a night to remember at Irving Plaza in New York City alongside Raw Brigade and Violent Way. And lastly, Saturday, December 13th, the crazy yearly festival, formerly the Every Time I Die holiday show, now known as Blissmas 25, is going down at Buffalo River Works in Buffalo, New York, featuring Glassjaw, Saves the Day, Terror, Onyx, Haywire, and so many more. Tickets are on sale now at blissmas.co, and that is your weekly event wrap-up. If you want to have your event in the event listings, whether it's a concert, movie screening, pop-up event, food truck thing, whatever it is, all of it comes down to something that I would attend and that I would support. So shoot me that email, send me those details, and I would be happy to plug your thing. With that said, let's get into the show that a lot of you guys are here for tonight. Shout out to everybody that's in the building early. I'm really excited to get into this tonight. I'm joined by a longtime friend who has been pursuing his love of the arts for well over a decade, if not two. From acting to helping produce stage plays, now him and his team are on a mission to restore film and theater in the now shuttered Luna Theater of Lowell, Massachusetts. To tell us more about his theater career, his project with the Owl Theater, his role as the Academic Arts Center Manager for Middlesex Community College, is my dear friend. Everybody, please welcome and drop your applause, John Bachelder.
Hello. How's it going, everybody? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, dude. Thank you so much for coming by tonight. This is such a treat for me.
Yeah, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
I know. It's
Busy.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah.
The ways of the world keep us apart. Chat, let us know if we sound good. We should sound beautiful, but just give us a shout and say what's up. As you guys know, first things first, the chat is officially open for Q&A as long as we're live tonight. Any questions that you guys have for our guest, drop them in the chat. We're going to pick our favorite ones. We'll put them on screen and get them answered for you.
Okay.
So I'm sure you've caught a couple of these in whatever. Yeah. And so I always like to kind of get a glimpse of like where it all kind of starts from, whether it's like the craft, the lifestyle, whatever it was. And so do you remember what age when you kind of first thought about like acting?
I remember the first time it was like actually a possibility in front of my face. Because I mean, I grew up watching all sorts of TV and film, some of it inappropriate for my age. But I went to Bicentennial and we had this thing. I mean, it's all across America, but it was called Odyssey of the Mind, which is now, I think it's still Destination Imagination. And basically it was a mix of science and art and critical thinking. And I was very interested in the performing part. I didn't realize that was something you could do, even though I watched humans do it on my television screen for so long. And that was really the first step. So it was like, we did these wagon pageants that had a story to them. So you would create like this wagon that would get dragged around and it would transform from one thing to another while you were telling a story. And then you would submit that at a competition, which would normally take place at what is now National High School South. And you would get to move on if you did good enough. And then from there, I stopped being interested in Destination Imagination. And then for a few years, I just kind of delved into listening to a lot of pop music, goth rock music. And then around 9th grade, I really did my, like, what I consider my first play, and it was The Hobbit. And I played Bowman Bard. And then I just kind of continued on with my high school career doing plays in high school. I didn't really branch out until I was in my 20s. And then I went to Middlesex Community College and started trying to make a career out of it. And my relationship with Middlesex and Karen Oster, the chair of performing arts there, has just been so monumental in my life. Both the school and Karen have been great supports and great tools for learning, and as a student and as someone who has just helped out with productions or helped out with events. And then I've done many things in the community in Nashua, in Manchester, in Lowell. I just did Shakespeare in Love at the Concord Players in February. That was crazy. And then I was also just did Into the Woods with Middlesex Community College, which, if you know, is an extremely hard but fun Sondheim show that can get kind of trite if you don't know what you're doing. And I worked with a team, Karen Oster being one of them, but like a bunch of students who just loved the material and really pushed it to a great level. So I guess that's my short-term story of my theatrical life. I've done so much. I've done so much. So there's a lot I could go into.
Well, I definitely want to get into that. I want to rewind because you said you continued acting through high school.
Yeah.
But then you didn't break out until you were in your 20s. So what does that mean for you? Because to me, it's like Well, you kept acting all the way through high school. Some people don't even continue a sport that long, and you've carried this on forever.
Well, so I did basically the plays that they were doing in school. I was a little too shy and self-conscious about my singing voice to do any of the musicals there. And then I took a gap year between graduation and starting college, and I took an acting class that I didn't really like, but in the meantime I just was auditioning for other things, and I just kind of kept going. I did a show that summer 2007 in Maine. It was a professional show where I got paid. It was the first time, and while I was doing that show I was getting ready to start my first semester in school. So it wasn't like I had stopped. It was more of I was figuring out what this transition in my life was like. I was also like 19, 20 years old. So like I was trying to figure out what type of debauchery at my age I could get into, you know? So, and then, it really, I got into, I started school, and I'm gonna mention her a lot, but I met Karen, and she really showed me that you can create theater anywhere. Because you've been to our original Black Box Theater. That place was small, but we made it seem huge.
Yeah, it was, and I hate to like say it like this, but it really was like a vibe.
Yeah.
Where if you were new to theater or new to stage acting, to go into a room like that was just entirely built for this one thing.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to not get lost in that moment.
Oh yeah, I remember walking into that room and being like, I know I just performed on a stage much smaller than this, but that was a play with 4 people. You got, like, they had done Into the Woods that spring, and that's a huge production. So I sat there and was like, how did you do that? And then they did The Crucible, and then I was in this show called Urinetown, as in urine, not You're in Town, Urinetown, the musical, which is a great show. Check it out. I don't know, we just made this small space seem so big and rich, and that is because of the love and passion that this wonderful woman had, so and still has to this day. So yeah, what was your question again? I got lost.
We were talking about your trajectory in the sense that like you continued acting through high school, and then you kind of took some time before you reevaluated the path you were headed towards. One of the things that led me to Middlesex though was I had a few people that I was working with in my normal person job who were pressuring me, and I'm glad they did. They were like, you should go to school, even if it's just a community college, and just start getting like small credits, because at the end it will be worth it. And they were right. You know, it was I'm so glad that they pushed me, and gently, and it was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's like one of those great things where college does kind of what it's, you know, you hear so many people struggle to make something of their college experience, and in turn the college experience is kind of what guided you on the path of like knowing what options were available to you. And I think that's like so huge in and of itself.
I'm really glad that I took that gap year though. I think that's part of the reason why when I went into school I was like, okay, I kind of know what I'm looking for. Whereas sometimes, I mean, when you're fresh out of high school, you're going because you're told to. Yeah. For a lot of kids, especially around our age, because we're not too far apart.
Yeah.
They go in and they shuffle through majors till they find something, which does a toll on you mentally and physically and emotionally. And I was very lucky to be like, no, I kind of know what path I'm going to go on. It's going to be theater. Even if it's not on stage, it's going to be somewhere in there.
A perfect segue to the next question I had.
Yeah.
So I guess this is a two-parter, but the first part, do you feel like you always knew that stage acting was your thing? Or was there ever a time where you thought that screen acting might come into your life?
Originally what got me, what hooked me, what was on the screen. I feel like I was very lucky to be raised by films that had a lot of love in them and made me want to pursue it. I think when I was a teenager, I was like, oh, I would love to be on screen. But then when I started college and I started doing different types of theater, especially Shakespeare, most especially Shakespeare, I was like, oh, you mean people do Shakespeare all the time? You don't have to wait for it to be a film? That really made me go, okay, this is something that I could do forever. Because I enjoyed being on stage before I started doing Shakespeare, but there was something about dissecting the language and creating your own path with it that really made me go, oh, I could do this for the rest of my life.
Now, to follow that up,
yeah,
do you, and I'm sure there is, could you kind of evaluate the technical differences between stage acting and screen acting? I would assume there's like some either nuances or some technical steps.
I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't done enough or really much screen acting to be a good source of information. I think from what I have learned of all the behind the scenes stuff that I've watched film is a lot more intimate, and you don't get a lot of rehearsal time with things. Action sequences, intimate scenes, those require specific attention for film, and sometimes, depending upon production schedule, there's not a lot of time for the rehearsal. Whereas with theater, you're spending, depending upon the production, depending upon the company, you're spending anywhere from 2.5 weeks, and that's like 8 to 10 hour days for 5 days a week, to 3.5, 4 months working on a production. And that much time and that much rehearsal really prepares you to go out on stage and get these words out, make the connection with your scene partner or scene partners or the audience, whoever you may be speaking to. It prepares you for any mistakes that happen. As a live performer, you probably have forgotten your words sometimes to your own songs that you've written. Yep. I can memorize a monologue as many times and get it out word perfect so many times, but there's going to be that one time that I trip up on a word, and that's the thing that's going to stick out to me the most. But when you're live on stage, that's your one take. When you're filming something, from my limited knowledge, you get a certain amount of takes, but you also have to repeat some of those takes over and over again on different shots, a profile shot, an above shot. You are having a conversation like we are. So the director has so many different shots to take to make this conversation between two people work, and if one of them is not communicating in a way that makes sense to how the other person is talking, that's going to make a complete imbalance. You feel that as the audience. You feel that as the audience live too, if something's not working between actors. So that's what I think the differences can be. The similarities, though, is hopefully trusting the team around you, the production staff, any of the assistants, the directors, and also the person that you're probably going to be most intimate with dialogue or physicality, and that's your other actor. And those things are inherent in like performance art. You know, there's that exchange of energy, that exchange of emotion, that exchange of information. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Because I haven't had as much experience with theater acting as I do like studying film or being a movie nerd or whatever. But one thing that you said that kind of was like, oh, okay, this kind of gives credence to that is like, you know, movies have like a very narrow like theater run typically, you know, it's 45, 60 days if we're lucky.
These days, yeah.
These days,
we grew up with films being in theaters for I think the longest was maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
Except for Phantom Menace. That was in theaters for a year.
But for the most part, you're lucky to get 2 months.
That's
you know
fair,
what I
yeah.
mean? As where there are certain like Broadway plays that go on for years and years and years.
Decades.
Yeah. And so that kind of like rehearsal time and building up that cast and crew, that kind of gives credence to like, well, we just put 6 months into producing this thing, so we're going to ride this thing out as long as we can.
Yeah, but that also depends upon if there's an audience for it. And that, I mean, that's theater, that's film, that's music.
Yeah.
You know, some of the best directors in the world have released a string of great films, and then they got that one film that everybody remembers that was like a flop. You know, the thing I love about Broadway is that they're always changing up the actors. So the perspective, not entirely, but the perspective on some of these characters that you see on the stage is a little different, because every person, every actor is different, has different life experiences with them. So, and also that they, especially for long running shows, they're always searching for new talent. They're also searching for what big Broadway name is gonna bring more people into this. Chicago keeps running on Broadway because they keep bringing in certain types of celebrities. My two favorite housewives have been Roxy Hart on Broadway, Lisa Rinna, and Erica Jane. Erica Jane just did her second run.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, and that's a perfect show to insert celebrities who may or may not be able to sing, because Chicago and the jazz music that it is kind of lends to that. At least in my opinion. There are probably some musical theater people out there who want to wring my neck for what I just said, and that is very valid. So it's not like a film, for the most part, which can be very finite. This is the beginning, this is the end, this has been boxed up and sent out to the world the way it is. Yeah. Until we get a remake or a sequel or a television show.
That's what we get now.
That's what we get now. But we used to complain that we didn't get more. So like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. So yeah.
It's funny that some of the people in the audience are going to give me shit for bringing this up. I bring it up all the time, but there's this friggin' red carpet interview where a guy stops Matt Damon on the red carpet, and he asks him point, I think this must have been 23 or 24 or something, maybe a couple years earlier, but it was one of these recent years, because the top 10 grossing movies of the year were all either sequels or reboots or pre-existing IP. And so the interviewer basically asks him, like, why do you think that all of the best-selling movies are just these remake kind of things, but people keep saying that they want something new? And he was like, well, he's like, this is not the only answer, but you can attribute a lot of it to the death of the DVD, because production companies used to depend on that DVD release day or the VHS release day or the Blu-ray and that was like a second release day. So if your movie didn't recoup everything in its theatrical run, now it had a second chance to still recoup and earn everybody royalties.
Yep.
And so everybody was willing to take bigger risks on things creatively because they knew that
The income would
cult
come.
followings exist.
Yeah.
So if they don't show up in the theater, or if a small amount of those people show up in the theater, they're going to show up for the release of it as well. And that struck such a chord with me because even in music, it's similar. It's like, why is a record label going to take a risk on an artist that's doing something unconventional when a proven like pop formula or proven successful formula is going to track on streaming and do the numbers that everybody's looking for? Like, why would you even take a risk and do something else at that point if it's your business?
Well, a lot of these companies are not, as much as I don't like to humanize these companies, they are very much like us in a sense. And it's that the instant gratification for them is the money, but for us is the new thing.
Yeah.
Has to come quick, and something new has to come before we lose our attention span. And that's kind of why we've moved away from DVD production. It takes too long. It's so much easier just to load that file onto a Netflix, onto an HBO Max, onto an Apple system than it is to, I mean,
until Apple loses its licensing, right? Now nobody can watch it.
That happened to me. They took Blade Runner from me. I was so mad.
You guys,
I was so mad.
Are you hearing this right now?
That was like 10 years ago. I purchased it, and then I went to watch it like 2 years later and was like, wait a minute, where'd it go? And then I called them and they were like, oh yeah, we just removed that from all of our stuff. And I was like, it's Blade Runner.
You didn't remove my money out of your bank account.
I asked for a refund and they were like, oh no. I was like, thanks.
That's what I'm talking
so
about,
much.
people. Long live physical media. That's what I'm saying is, like, even like, you don't have to be a collector, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be obsessive and have records and tapes and like, that's me personally. But like, just own the things that matter to you. That's what I implore people is like the movies, the music, the books, any of these things that like matter to you, make sure you own a fucking copy of them because they will disappear. We've all had it happen to us at some point where it's like, oh, I wanted to go watch this movie. Oh, it's not on streaming anywhere to watch. Like, or it's like, oh, it's now even the DVDs go out of print sometimes because like Criterion. I love Criterion, but like I've been collecting movies my whole life. Right? Like I kind of like you. I was raised by movies. My parents put me in front of the Roger Rabbit VHS tape or whatever. Like that's how I came up. So like I've been obsessed with movies my whole life. But my taste in movies has obviously evolved a lot through my late teens into my 20s. I was collecting superhero stuff. I was collecting anime. I was collecting action movies. I was collecting stuff, skate movies, skateboarding shit, like music stuff. And it wasn't until like my later teen years, into probably my early 20s even, that I really, my like film repertoire really opened up. One of those things for me was Criterion, because seeing all of this, what happened was I bought a copy of Repo Man from the Criterion collection on Blu-ray. I had saw it at like Target or something like that, and the packaging was just crazy. And I was like, yo, why is there like a brand new copy of Repo Man? Like, this makes no sense. And I brought it home and I saw the Criterion collection and the numbered spine, and I put the Blu-ray in, and it had all these bonus features and like documentaries from when they made the movie. And I was like, yo, this turns this movie into a whole like overnight experience. And I was like, what the fuck? Why does it say Criterion Collection? And so I just went online and I became hooked. And so what that did was I started learning about all of these filmmakers and all of these actors and all of these eras of Hollywood that I just like, as a teenage boy just didn't really give credence to.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm diving into 1920s German expressionist horror movies, and
It's a dangerous era.
I know, for real. But it was like I just wanted to see everything. And one of the things that I started blind buying stuff. That's why I always mention blind buying, because anytime Criterion has a sale, I make it a point to at least pick one thing that I've just never heard of, never saw.
Okay.
Just buying it purely on like the back sounds cool, the art looks cool, like sounds like a good movie. And doing that has like brought me to so many like parallels of like, oh, I had no idea that this person was in this movie. Like, what other stuff has this random person been in? Or like, I didn't know this director made this thing. And you know, and that's how you end up with a $300 Ingmar Bergman box set or something. You know what I mean? Like, just stuff that it's like, I just love the idea of movie making and the idea of cinema and like being in the theater watching the movie and then like being able to take that experience and have it at home when I need it. Like, the whole thing is just like, it's so different than music, where it's like there's parallels, but it's just like such a different experience, and it's given me so much joy that like I don't know where I would be if I didn't have my like movie collection at home, because much of what I own, because I was buying DVDs in the 2000s.
Yep.
A lot of that stuff isn't replicated in Blu-ray or isn't in press anymore.
Yep.
So I have stuff that it's like I would have no way to watch it ever if I didn't just have this $20 DVD.
I recently went to Best Buy to try and find 2 specific movies. Well, 3 technically. I was hoping one would be a double pack. I walked around that store, this is the Nashville one, for about 15 minutes looking for a DVD.
Do they even have?
They don't.
That's what
I walked up to one of the workers there, and it's just like, hey, do you guys have any sort of physical media? And she was like, what do you mean? I was like DVDs, Blu-rays. I mean, I wouldn't expect you to have DVDs here at this point, except maybe a bargain bin.
Well, like you gotta have 4K.
And she literally gave me a withering look and went, go to FYE, and then walked away. I was like, wow. Okay.
Yo,
thank you.
Great.
Yeah, and I went to FYE recently. I went there before I'd gone to Best Buy, and I remember you probably do too, walking into FYE mainly, and half the store was films. Yeah. And now it's probably like the size of your desk.
Yeah, it's like a Funko Pop store now.
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Dude, I remember when that place was what was it? Pineapple Records, I think it was. Like
Strawberries.
No, Strawberries was in a different plaza.
Yeah, that's the plaza where Toys R Us was.
Yep. Dude, because Strawberries was a Ticketmaster outlet, so you could go get CDs and concert tickets there.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
I just got.
Dude,
I had the little coins for gift money to go buy like 3 or 4 CDs.
Dude, it was so random. Somebody in chat has to be able to validate this. It's not just me, I swear. But there's 2 places in Nashua that you could buy concert tickets from, like with our means.
Yeah.
You would go to Strawberries, or you would go to like, I think it was Filene's or JCPenney. One of them had a Ticketmaster thing upstairs.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Filene's. That's a store I haven't heard of in a long time.
Yeah. It was like one of those department stores, either Filene's or JCPenney, and you could go upstairs and they had like a little counter that sold tickets for random concerts and shit.
Okay.
But Strawberries was always the move.
Yeah, I loved Strawberries. I was sad when it closed down.
Me too. But even going back to like FYE time and shit, right? I swear it was Pineapple Records. Somebody hit me up.
I feel like it's been FYE since I was 12.
It was another store before that, and I know that because I bought my first parental advisory CD.
There was another store.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Pineapple, because
It was some.
It was also the place that I first bought my first CDs or first albums, and it was the Rugrats movie soundtrack would take me there with Maya and Blackstreet, I believe.
Oh hell yeah!
And Baby One More Time by my girl Brittany.
Case?
It was, it was a cassette tape. So I bought, because I didn't have like enough money for both CDs. So I was like, I need the Britney Spears Baby One More Time CD. I will accept the cassette tape of the Rugrats movie. But that, if you have never listened to the Rugrats movie soundtrack, I'm telling you right now, insane soundtrack. I mean, Gwen Stefani in the early years, Elvis Costello is on there.
Yo, Nickelodeon hit back in the
It
day.
really did. It really did.
Dude, all that always had like the best performances.
Yeah.
And Keegan and Kel carried that, and they had performances.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, we grew up in obviously a different time, but I think
where people
a better era.
still cared about art.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
And even like, dude, we were talking about we got sidetracked, but when Pineapple and FY, and I think when FYE was there too, right downstairs, down the escalator, Suncoast Video. So if one of your stores upstairs have it, entire store full of movies and movie memorabilia.
Yes.
Suncoast. Oh, dude, I would die in a Suncoast today if I could. I'd just lay on the carpet in their dark ass fucking lighting with their wall full of anime VHS tapes that all the box on the side all makes one big picture. Like the whole thing is ingrained in my brain forever.
All those entertainment stores are where I spent my Freaky Fridays and my goth attire. You know what I mean?
Dude.
And then I would sneak off to the movie theater and see, because I was just like, I don't want to hang around there anymore. I'm going to go see a movie.
Dude, you mentioned Phantom Menace earlier.
Yep.
Dude, me and two of my friends went to the premiere at General Cinema of Phantom Menace.
General Cinema.
Yeah, that's right, General Cinema. And we went to the Phantom Menace premiere, and we just were like hyped to see Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then we showed up, and people were dressed up in costume. They had lightsabers. There was like vendors inside that were like doing a contest to give away like the Xbox fucking Phantom Menace like pod racer game and all this shit.
Oh yeah, the N64 one. Yeah.
Dude, me and the homies literally ran back across the street to the mall, went to KB Toys, bought lightsabers, and then ran back over to General Cinema, and we're just battling people with lightsabers in the line waiting to get into this movie. Like, I miss experiences like that so much.
Midnight premieres.
Yes, dude.
Midnight premieres were so great. I think the last one I went to was the last Harry Potter movie. Because I think that was the last movie event that I like cared about.
Yeah.
Because they started being products that were not my age group.
Dude.
But like,
remember the Batman screening though?
The one that you and I that was a long day, dude.
I think about that all the time.
I still have the poster and I still have the lanyard.
Dude, I have a cardboard Batman in my house and he wears the lanyard. So I like walk by it every day and I'm like, man, that was a fun day.
For reference, Cody and his girlfriend Nicolette and I went to, in summer 2012 when The Dark Knight Rises came out, they were showing the first two movies, so Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, on an IMAX screen. And the first movie is not an IMAX movie. So that was interesting. But we were there, I think we were in somewhere in the middle of Massachusetts till like 2:00 in the morning.
Like Danvers.
Yeah. And that was a long day, but like so worth it.
It was sick, dude. They let us go to the food court and get food and bring it back into the theater.
Oh yeah.
Man, it was such an event. Like, that's the thing. So
that was the last big event one that I went to. That was it.
Did you see The Batman?
Yes.
Well, I mean, because I ended up at that same theater and I saw The Batman at that theater, and I remember there was like a huge like display thing for like photo op kind of thing, and I couldn't remember if we ever like crossed paths on that one.
No, so I think I saw that one down in Boston opening night. I think it was at the Lowe's AMC.
Okay.
And I almost didn't make it. I had bought the tickets like a month beforehand, and then my friend, bless him, was going through a breakup for that day, and he called me crying. So I was halfway there and was like, dude, I will turn around for you right now. And then I had turned around, and then he called me back and he was like, no, just go. So I got there literally 3.5 minutes before the movie started. Luckily, we have reserved seating these days, or else I probably would have died.
Yeah.
But that was on an IMAX screen, and just those two giant red words, the Batman. That was it. Man.
Okay. I could literally go on.
No, so could I.
Hours.
So could I.
Talk to me about the Owl Theater.
Okay, so let's start with like a little bit of history. Like, to be honest, for those of you who love film and love going down to Lowell or finding little niche spots in Massachusetts, there was this place called Mill Number 5, which was essentially it's the only reference that I really have in my head. It's like Diagon Alley for different types of shops. They had a record shop, they had a yoga place, they had a milk shop place, but the big sell there was the Luna Theater. And they would show mainstream movies, but they would also show like a lot of like indie films. They would have like film festivals. There's this group that also comes to the Owl Theater now called Weirdo Wednesdays. They are at our spot sometimes. They were just there last Wednesday. They'll be there again on July 30th. If you know about Weirdo Wednesday, guys. They are awesome, Daniel and Rebecca, and they just tend to show really weird niche, mostly horror films. So sometime in November, the owners were planning on shutting down. Business, like for a lot of people after the pandemic, just either came back or it didn't in a harsh way. And, they really held on for a long time. So my boss, Pat Cook, and Phil, who is the president of Middlesex Community College, didn't want to lose a home for small films, or for, it's so expensive to go to the movies these days. I mean, it costs, about $25 to $30 for one person if you include like all the other things, popcorn and a drink. And they really wanted to keep a local small theater intact that didn't cost an arm and a leg. And so we slowly started putting this together. And then in February, we opened, and the first film that we showed was Wicked. So it was already kind of off the beaten path of what the Luna did by showing something mainstream, but we really wanted something that a lot of people would come see. And Wicked was huge. Yeah. It's also one of my favorite musicals. So I was very happy to put that on. And then, we just we've continued to try and show films. We haven't had as big audiences as Wicked, but we also know that it's going to be a slow start, just like anything. You just got to kind of keep persisting. But the Academic Arts Center, which is where the Lowell, the Owl Theater is located, has a very rich history. It used to be a train station. It used to be a Union Telegraph. And then in around 1913, it became the Owl Theater. And the first film that they showed was the Battle of Gettysburg. And they showed that to about 3,500 people, I think, in the first day. And then by 1920, it transitioned to the Rialto Theater. And for about 50 years, it was the Rialto Theater. And then it closed down. I'm not too much sure of the history. I think it was mainly abandoned, but it's a historical building. Massachusetts, one of the great things about Mass is they really try to keep, even if the inside is changed, they really do try to keep their historical buildings intact. And so in 2008, Middlesex Community College acquired the building. And at that time, I was in my second year of college. And around 2013, the MCC Theater, we lost our black box theater it was closed down for it wasn't up to code. And we spent about 4 or 5 years, as a production assistant, just basically nomads. We stayed at Lowell High School till about 2018, where the Academic Arts Center was opened, and basically we have been in there since. That's on 240 Central Street. It is a wonderful building. It's got a stage theater, which holds 142 seats, a recital hall, which also doubles as the Owl Theater, which holds 100 seats. It's got a dance studio for dance classes. It's got a practice room and a seminar room and another classroom. We have dance classes, we have theater classes, we have music classes. And then we also there's film festivals that we have going on. We have the Lowell Asian American Film Festival that's happening in October. We are trying to show films every few weeks. Like we're showing Death of a Unicorn this Friday. I'm very excited for that one because I haven't seen that one yet. So hopefully you all come out to see that. But essentially it's a labor of love. The administration at Middlesex Community College really gives their all to the art departments, not just the performing arts, but also the communications department, which is in charge of like graphic design, videography, sound production. They really care about the arts. They really believe that we can be a home and a hub for people that may not have necessarily the means to start to go off to a bigger school for these things, but we can start you off on a path. But we also are trying to, as much as we can, include the community as in many things. So we also have community events that come through that I schedule, which is wonderful, because the thing that I hear the most is, I didn't know this was here. And then they walk around the building and it's covered in art created by students at Middlesex Community College. And I try to put up production stills from our shows and advertisements for the things that we have going on. I said it already, it's really a labor of love from the entire school. So, yeah.
What's the goal for the Owl Theater moving forward?
The goal for the Owl Theater is to show people that the idea of the Luna has not left. We really would like it. We want to show a variety of different films, mainstream, but also indie films. We're trying to pull from A24's lot because, they've got a crazy collection. And it really is, as we said, it's really expensive to go to the movies these days. And sometimes you just want a small, intimate setting and you can't get that. And, and you also don't want to pay an arm and a leg to come to us for $5. It really is. It really is. And you get a good seat no matter where you sit, and good film quality and good sound quality. And it really is just to keep, we know it's going to be a slow run, but it really is to keep the idea of what the Luna was doing alive. I loved going there. I didn't go there a lot, but I enjoyed my experience there every time. And I think that it's really sad that the Luna closed down. It's really sad. It would be really sad if like a place like Coolidge closed down. And to be able to have this opportunity to show people that there is still a small movie house, that we are still going to be showing these films that you might not normally see till they're on streaming, or you might not even normally know about, is great. So,
how frequent are the screenings? So you mentioned Weirdo Wednesday, so they do that every week?
So that is that is scheduled out. Because the Academic Arts Center has so many events going on. Right now we have a kids theater summer camp going on. They're working on SpongeBob.
That's awesome.
SpongeBob the Musical Junior, and then there's another camp that happens in August where they're doing High School Musical, also directed by Karen Oster. And so we do have to work around the events that are already scheduled in there, that are already there for the school. So for instance, Death of a Unicorn is this Friday at 7 p.m. The next Weirdo Wednesday is going to be July 30th. And then August 1st, we're showing the animated Oscar shorts. And then I think 2 weeks after that, we're showing The Last Showgirl, which is Pamela Anderson's most recent film, which she was, from what I understand, did an amazing job. I'm so excited for that one.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It really is based around what we already have going on in the building, and then how much time can we spend promoting it, which has also been difficult because there's so much out there that it's trying to fight through the noise of everything else is proving to be a challenge. But luckily we have people like you who love film and love to promote community events that are going on. I mean, you did that at the beginning of your podcast here, and that is you're an invaluable resource for all of those people, in my opinion. So it's also something I think you can agree with. Like when you were watching films as a kid, especially if you got excited about a film, you wanted to show as many people as possible. I think that I just saw Superman this weekend, and it was so great to be in a theater with people who were so excited for it. It's been exciting when the Weirdo Wednesday people have been there to feel the energy of this following they already have. We get a good amount of people for them too. We get about 25, 30 people, and that's from a following that they've already built. And their energy and their excitement for this film that they might never have seen before is palpable. And I would love for that to transfer into some of our more mainstream or some of our lineup. We're also preparing this fall to a collaboration with Merrimack Repertory Theater. They are doing a stage version of Misery. So
that's gnarly.
Yeah. And they're also doing this other, it's not quite a musical. It's a play with music in it called Ring of Fire about Johnny Cash.
That's sick.
Yeah. And so we're trying to figure out, I'm waiting to hear back from Warner Brothers and unfortunately Disney at this point, who own Warner Brothers owns Misery and Disney owns Walk the Line, in collaboration with MRT in order to promote not only their shows that they're putting on, but that's a great resource for us to promote the Owl Theater and show that we're here. We show trailers. We show a little preview of what's coming. We also have a little 2.5 minute video of the history of the Owl Theater and of the Academic Arts Center. So all the history that I just gave you about it being a railroad depot and the Rialto and originally the Owl all came from that video, which is narrated by Pat Cook, who is my boss. Sorry, Pat.
Someone's got to be the boss.
He's the boss. And it's been a great learning experience. It's a great opportunity that I'm up to the challenge for building. But I also am very passionate about all of the other events that we have going on there. We have a great theater program that we put on wonderful productions. I don't mean to I work on almost all of them, so I'm not trying to be like, these are so great because we worked on them. I really mean that as someone who loves theater. We don't ever want to put out something that's subpar, and we really never have, or else we wouldn't have this building that we have now.
That's right. Talk that talk.
We don't put on anything subpar. We also have a great music program. Both of these programs too are run by women. Karen Oster runs the chair of performing arts, and Carmen Peralta is the chair of the music program. And they are just wonderful to work with. We have lots of music programming that comes to us. They bring in this World of Music series, which is all live performers, mostly classical music. And then we also have a music department where the students get to perform what they've been working on all year, what they've been learning. And the Owl Theater is just like this great extra feature where we get to, we have the Lowell Asian American Film Festival coming October 17th and 18th, and that is all local filmmakers. And some of them are not local, but I've seen in the last 2 years that I've been doing this job, I've seen so many new films and so many different artistic perspectives because of the Lowell Asian Film Festival. We've got this Dare to Imagine festival, a film festival, which is coming in September. It's a really hopping place. It's just, I don't think that I think as the building manager, I really am trying to put the word out more. And thank you for this.
Thank you.
Not to break the third wall or fourth wall or whatever it is here, but I think that, I don't know. I love it. I never thought I'd be running like a movie theater. And
right. That's like so many of our dreams.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm super excited. I mean, there are some film anniversaries coming up that some of them that I've already missed. Like we missed the Lord of the Rings ones. Would have loved to have shown those. Not that we can't show those anytime, probably. But, there's the 10-year anniversary of Star Wars, The Force Awakens, coming up this December. I am showing that film. There are great films that I think that people may have not seen, especially the younger generation that's coming through, that I would love to be able to put up there. Be like, these are films that I grew up with that pull in people, but also pull in new people. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a challenge, but the most fun things that you do should come with a bit of a challenge.
Yeah. Things that come easy to you typically aren't worth having.
Yeah. I agree with that.
What, and this could be for you or the theater, but obviously I would love to know you personally too.
Can I answer one of these chat people?
You can answer any of them you want.
Jessica, we just showed Dogma
and don't
a
worry,
couple weeks ago. It's
Jessica,
you know what?
Jess is one of my homies, and we both always end up at Kevin Smith events because
he's going to be in Concord
yeah.
in August. I don't know if you announced that one.
No,
but that he's going to be he's showing Dogma in August, and they're doing a Q&A. That one, had I known that it wasn't going to disappear on me in like 2 weeks, because that, as you probably know, Jessica, that is a film that you can't find anywhere right now. That popped up on the system that we pair with Preludio, and I was like, I felt like if I didn't jump on that opportunity, and I mean, I had like a week to promote it, and had I known that it would still be there, I probably would have waited a little longer to put it out. But I was just like, there's so much of a chance that this film that I haven't been able to see for 15 years is not going to appear again. So yeah, trust me, we got a decent sized audience for it, but we would have done well with being able to promote that a little bit more.
Yeah. I would have seen it 100 times just on principle.
Oh man, it was, I'm not trying to brag, but it was so refreshing to watch that after so many years. But yeah, I'm probably going to try and show Dogma again, so don't you worry.
Dude, I'll be there.
Yeah,
show any Kevin Smith movie, I'll be there.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yes. Dude, I went to so Kevin Smith tours his films now.
Yeah.
And so I've gone to like 2 or 3 of them, and I went to the Jay and Silent Bob reboot at the Wilbur Theater, and I literally like cried while I was watching it. Same thing, I went to the Clerks 3 one and I cried during that too, because there's just something about being with like the whole Viewist universe of fans.
Oh yeah.
And seeing it in a theater in that setting and knowing that Kevin is coming out to talk to us after, man, it was just so overwhelming, dude. But they're like some of the best film experiences I've had lately. It's just such a different thing than I think people are starting to try and kind of replicate what he's doing.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, Kevin Smith is the king of creating experiences around his movies. It's like unparalleled.
You know what's an experience that I am starting to see pop up everywhere, and it started off like with the Star Wars one, is staged readings of movies.
Yes.
A group of people, very famous actors. I don't know them. One of them is from The Bear. They did a reading of Conclave.
Random.
And I only saw like a 1.5-minute clip of it, but it was hilarious because they don't take it seriously. They don't have to. So you can literally turn this into like the most serious script into like this funny thing, because you have these people who are some of them having not ever seen these movies or read these scripts before, reading this script and then just going like, what? There's this group that has been doing staged reading of the Star Wars films.
Oh my gosh.
They started with the prequels.
What? That's bold.
And no, Haley Joel Osment as Anakin.
Yeah,
the entire way through. Like, and
good.
I mean, no, they get some all-star people to play some roles in these things. So if you ever check it out, like they just did Empire Strikes Back, and I forget what they called it, but check them out. I love stage readings of films these days. That's been my event thing that I've been watching on YouTube. I'll send you the links to it.
Definitely. It's funny you say that too, because I probably shouldn't even say it on here, but I've been wanting to do a podcast in that format. So like Ryan probably told you years ago, I wrote a script for like a radio drama.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get voice actors and like get the whole thing recorded, and I was going to and we did a ton of work on it and never finished it.
Ryan told me about it because he wanted me to try and do it, and I just looked at him and it was like, I was working third shift at that point.
Exactly.
It just wasn't something that was going to work out for me.
And it was like I was in a tough place technically because I didn't have like all the podcast stuff.
Yeah.
So I was recording like one person at a time. So it was like you would be in the booth and then I'd be here like acting to you while you were in the booth recording all your lines.
Yeah.
Then I get your shit recorded and it's like, all right, let's switch. Like,
with
11, 12 characters, it just was like not working for real.
Yeah.
And it's been so many years, but I started seeing stuff like that too, and it gave me the bug of like, what if I just brought all my scripts into a podcast and just read them live the way we do this show? And so I've been wanting to do it, but I got to find a couple people that like have the time and can like do it. But
I have more time now. I'm
exactly.
not dying third shift.
We're both not dying on overnights and weekends. So now we can figure it out. So you guys might just get another new show on the channel soon too. So I have like Gates, that show Gates was what that was called. That had 8 30-minute episodes written in full. And then I started working on other shows after that. So I have these like other drafts of scripts for other shit that are more like one-shot kind of things.
Okay.
But it's like, yeah, dude, I'm like...
that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, if we schedule it correctly, I could do it.
I'm with it.
I'm willing to do it.
I see Ryan in the chat. I know he'll be down.
Hello. Oh my God! There's quite a few people that I know. I did see one of my staff members, Sam. She checked in. I think she had said
about Tucker.
I don't know if I know Tucker.
Shout out to Tucker for being in the building.
But hello, Staria. I don't know if
Samantha.
I know you. Hi, Peter. And Katie, if she's with you. Hi, Ryan. Ryan, who was on the show last week, is my partner. So I was the one saying, "That's my husband."
I got lucky. I got Handsome Studs 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, Jessica, you're absolutely right. Dogma is one of the best films of all time. Oh, hi, Katie. Hi. So Staria, Katie, she is actually choreographing the 2 kids camps right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I've worked with her a couple of times, and her boyfriend Peter and I just a year ago we did a show, and Katie was also in it. We did a play called Alice by Heart, which is it's a musical that's an hour and a half long, and there's no intermission. And basically, these people are trapped in the London Underground, and this one girl, her friend, is dying of tuberculosis, and she's trying to read him Alice in Wonderland. And kind of like all the adults in like these fairy tale films or fairy tale things like Wizard of Oz or Alice in Wonderland, you have this adult who's like, "You're being childish," and the nurse that's down there with them takes the book and rips it up, and she's like, "Well, fuck you. I know this play by heart," and the people that are trapped in the London Underground during the Blitz with her kind of transformed into the Alice in Wonderland characters. But because she's got all this real life stuff going on, it interferes with Wonderland and kind of like goes after her to kick her out. Yeah. It's a great show. But sorry, I just was like, I just wanted to promote my friends a little bit. Peter and Katie and Sam, who are on here, like they're people I've been working with for years, and they're just wonderful.
That's what I want to plug. So it's like full transparency, the event listings that I do every week, I always like leave the email open to solicit things for people, but I have gone and saw all that out.
Okay,
like
I'll send you all that.
And that's the thing. So like that's what I'm saying. If you guys have, if it's a play, if it's a film screening, if it's a pop-up food truck, if it's a concert for your band, if it's whatever, like just send the shit. CodyCentralShow@gmail.com. If it sounds like something I would be at, I will absolutely plug it on the show. The show is only to be of service to the creative community around me. Like,
thank you. Like that's awesome. We don't have a lot of that, so that's great to hear.
Because it's funny too, because it's like I know we all like say it and feel this way, and it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, another like middle-aged white guy has a podcast. Awesome. This is going to be super helpful and informative, and this is going to contribute a lot to society and bring a lot of valuable opinions that people asked for. But like for me, it's like if you don't know me already, music is kind of like the thing that I do the most, and I run a record label called Hellhound Publishing. And as a musician, I'm sure as my friend you've seen, like I am very needy in the sense of like, could you like my thing? Could you comment on this? Could you stream my song? Could you watch my video? Could you subscribe to my channel? Could you buy a pre-sale of my album? Could you buy a ticket to my show? Could you share this post? I always need shit, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you start needing too much and you don't equate your value, you're going to burn people out. And so I came to this point where it was like, what can I do to be of service to all the people that I need shit from all the time? And so it's like, that's how I came up with Cody Central. It was like, obviously a play on Comedy Central, but it was more so like the people that I have on here are people that do things that I'm interested in. And so it's like, use my whatever spotlight or platform that I have and get it off and go. That's and so great. If people don't take advantage of that, it's just me talking about shit that I like, so I'd rather talk about the shit you do that hopefully is going to be fun to a whole community of people. So make sure you guys hit that email. I pointed to the email, but that's not it. This is the link to go support John. Make sure you go to that. That's my email is always up on the show. I'm easy to find.
Thank you. We're showing a good run of films for the next month. So for any of you, like, come see Death of a Unicorn this Friday. It's only $5. You can go to middlesex.universitytickets.com, or you can follow the link that Cody has put up there, which will also lead you to a ticket link. Or you could pay at the door too. We are working on a cash box, but we take cards across the board, so it's no problem there. But I think that you are creating a really valuable resource here for the community. There's not, as far as I know, there's not a lot of people doing this. So keep going.
I'm hoping as long as people keep showing up, I'll keep being here. Importantly too, not only can you guys check out this website right here, middlesex.edu/campus/owl theater, but I can't point on your side of the screen. But on Instagram, you can also follow at the AAC at MCC.
Yep.
That's at the AAC at MCC. And so that's on Instagram. So if you want to get updates on all the stuff that's happening with the theater, with the Middlesex theater community at large in general, make sure to follow them over on Instagram, as well as going to the website and getting your tickets and writing it on your calendar and inviting your friends and making your plans and having a grand night out. All right. So the last thing I always ask people, and you can take a moment to think about this if you need to.
Okay.
Is there a piece of advice that you could give people that's rooted in your personal experiences?
Success is what you make it, and it doesn't come easily. But if you have the tenacity and the courage, you can make anything you're working on. It doesn't matter if you're an artist or not. You can make anything work for you, and you can really go far in life if you just keep going and believe in yourself. That's the hardest thing for an artist to do, is believe in themselves. But I think in this world right now, it's hard for all of us to believe in ourselves. And I think that I struggle with that every day. But if I didn't continue believing in myself because of the people who believed in me, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't have this job that I have right now. And yeah, I think you just have to keep going. Keep going.
Dude, determination is the key.
Yeah. Also, don't believe that everything ends at 30. Life really begins at 30.
Yeah, people always say that 30s are your best years, and we're here to tell you that 30s are not your best years. They're like the prequel.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're telling people that 40s are your best years. 30s are your years to be broke, but be figuring it out.
Any of these years could be your best years. It's how you get through it.
Yeah.
It's how you look at it.
And it's like, what is your perspective on gratitude? That's gonna ultimately be what determines how you get through all of this stuff.
Yeah. Like, what is my perspective on gratitude?
Well,
or did you mean that as a general?
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Whatever your perspective on gratitude is going to determine the path that you're on.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Hey, Jen, sorry I'm late. I got busy with some stuff. No worries, Jen. Appreciate you tapping in anyways. We are just about to wrap this thing up, but this is going to be back live on YouTube moments after we're done. So, man, first of all, thank you so much. This has been a blast. I literally, we'll have to honestly probably do another part, because we could have just there's so many things that we could have talked about that it's like, I want to make sure that we get everybody there for it at the right time. Yeah.
We definitely have a good time nerding out together.
Yeah. That is the friggin' truth.
Don't get me started on Star Wars. I won't shut up.
For real. Don't get us started on Batman either.
That.
We'll be down a wormhole.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So make sure you guys follow John at the AAC at MCC, as well as middlesex.edu/campus/owl theater. John, thank you so much for being here with me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yo, Peterson, get started on Batman. Brother, do you have another 6 hours tonight? Because
Peter would make it.
Oh
Peter
my
would
gosh.
make it.
All right,
It's fine. He's an insomniac too.
Perfect. So
part two. So
yep.
Ryan.
When we do part 2, we'll bring Peter. We'll tag Peter in at some point.
Oh
too.
yeah. Okay.
We could bring. we could have a lot of people from MCC on here. So when I started the show, we have a lot of remote guests.
Yeah.
We can have like up to like 10 people.
Okay.
I mean, that would be a chaotic conversation, obviously.
Yeah.
But like if you come here and he can't make it here, but he wants to come in live or any, like, we can always like get a group of people. If there's like a production to promote, if there's a film series coming up to promote, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get you back in here soon. So
I'll also talk to some of the people that are going to be doing the film festivals. I'll talk to. I mean, I will talk to the students that are coming through for the shows this year and be like, hey, this is a great way to get not only the production out there, but yourselves out there.
Exactly.
If
you got something to promote and you want to promote yourself, whatever it is, let's talk and let me get to know you. Let me dig into your personal files. You couldn't hear me tapping the keyboard, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. John, thank you so much. I love you, buddy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, guys.
Cody Central gang, thank you so much for being here tonight. Whether it is your first time, whether you're here every week, whether you got here early, whether you got here late, it doesn't matter. Just thank you so much for being here. Tonight was episode 33. I appreciate you guys for riding with me for over 30 weeks of doing this show. Every week talking to a new interesting person and getting to hear their life story. Thank you to everybody that's been on the show with me. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Please, please, please head over to Hellhound Publishing on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And please check out my latest music video. It's called No Sugar Added by Cody Pope and Byron G. I edited the video myself, shot by my boy Danny from Dimes Productions. Drop a comment, drop all the emojis and engagement and all that. Cody Pope and Byron G, Giant Steps in Gate City album is streaming everywhere. I love you guys so much. Good night. Preach.
Cody Central is written and produced by Cody Pope for Hellhound Publishing. If you'd like to sponsor the program and have your brand, podcast, or service featured, learn more about that today at www.hellhoundpublishing.com/Cody-Central. Additional ways to support the program include purchasing music, joining our Patreon for exclusive content, or simply donating at any of the links available in the QR codes above.
I certainly feel sorry for you.